And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Carolina Panthers. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Yellow! Yellow, yellow!
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Greer and the Panthers set to go 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Yeah.
They're going to need some therapy.
On 1st and 10, Greer. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Check, butts it.
2nd and 10, here's Greer again. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And it's taken in at the 9. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Mahomes. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jason McCourty. 20. There he goes, right side. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treat it as such.
Mahomes will try again on second down. And he comes back with one complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
As a defender, I always found the slant route extremely difficult to cover unless you're able to jump on top of it early, because once he gets his hands on the ball, he's at full speed going away from you.
It all happens in the blink of an eye, doesn't it?
It really does. The timing is so important. That ball's got to be out of the hands of the quarterback and to the receiver like that. And if it is,
blitz coming, and down he goes. Jonathan Bostic in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
43!
To try again after the sack. Mahomes, it's complete to Williams. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Damian Williams, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. An update from Denver. The Chargers have scored again, so they open up a 2-touchdown lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Mahomes to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. These two teams all tied after one. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 47 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Being chased out left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Yellow. I'll go on. Yellow.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
2nd down and goal. Mahomes. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Jonathan Bostic make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And now because of the sack, it's 3rd and goal from the 14. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he slides to avoid the hit. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet.
While making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Rock it. Switch. Now.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Hey, Charlie. Double up. Big grip.
On 2nd and 9, Greer gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. It's complete to Grant. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Leo.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Greer. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Greer. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Ryan Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And some room to roam now. And all the way way in for a Kansas City touchdown. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Chiefs are once again going to retake the lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now, under 100 yards of total offense. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Greer. And that will be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
A final shot before the break. Greer. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it.
And the pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
First down, Chiefs.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Mahomes now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Bostic in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Mahomes flushed out right. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Everyone got 4 down. 90.
First down, Greer. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, it's Greer. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. On 3rd and long, here's Greer. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. And this one is right down the middle. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Hero 15.
54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check, watch.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mahomes over the middle, it's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Greer. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. From the 24, Greer to Thompson on the screen. And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Chiefs' 12-yard line.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now it's Greer. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 2-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Here I come again. Here I am. 57 colors. Check 59. Mike is here.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. It's Williams on the catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
It's going to be a long day. 59 mark. Check 59. Here we go, D. Mike's 59.
Attack.
We ain't giving up nothing. 57, 57 colors, 57 colors. 59. On scene 6.
Mahomes to throw. Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a pickup of 7. And just like that, it's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The pass complete to Ryan Graham. He's at the 30. Past the 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
We got to step it up. Check 4, check 4. Slam, slam, slam. Alert flare, flare.
To throw is Mahomes. Buying time to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go. Deuce. Hey, watch that.
Back to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now they do indeed get the timeout, so all is not lost. They'll have a chance for one final heave to the end zone.
Yellow. Come on, 80. I don't need some. Get in the weight room.
One final try for Mahomes. incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So for the Panthers, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.